This car here is a dinosaur. No turbos, no superchargers, no dual clutch transmission, no fancy aids. Well, I guess it has ABS and traction control. This car is a mechanical beast, and I'm sure gonna miss it. This is the 2017 Viper ACR Extreme, and it's the last Viper ever made. And it's sad that these cars are gone, but for the lucky owner of this car, good for him for being able to acquire it and keep it in his possession and actually drive this car. This car does come to the racetrack and it gets used the way it's supposed to. This rear wing right here generates 2,000 pounds of downforce at its top speed of 177 miles an hour. Speaking of top speeds, this ACR Extreme has a reduced top speed, 23 miles an hour slower than a regular Viper because of the Extreme Aero package on the car. Could you imagine, guys, 2,000 pounds of downforce on this wing, which is absolutely the biggest wing I think I've ever seen on any factory car, period. That's like 8 of me sitting on the rear end of this thing. Well, it's actually probably 7 of me, I'm lying, but imagine that. Imagine that. That is absolutely incredible how much downforce this car produces as a street car. The rear hatch with the glass weighs 9 pounds. The rear wing has 8 square feet of surface area. Practically the whole car is carbon fiber with the exception of the door sills and the rear quarter panels. Look at that hood. You wouldn't want to know what the replacement bill is on that. As well with the hood, they do have these removable inside vents. And of course they're vented already and you would think that they dispel of enough heat. But when you're on the racetrack, this thing generates so much heat out of the tires that they actually remove these. So it's literally just a big square right here and just to let all the heat escape. Speaking of big tires, there's one right there. That's a 295 section tire. That's a 295 25 19 up front. And out back, they run a 355. Under the hood, you're gonna find a 8.4 liter V10 engine. Vipers have been running the V10s literally since inception back in '92. This car produces 645 horsepower and 600 foot-pounds of torque, and it's light. I want to say this car, I'd have to Google the facts on it, but I want to say it's a low 3,000 pound car, somewhere around 31, 32, 3,300 pounds. From factory, they come with Bilstein coilovers that are 10-way adjustable, dual adjustable coilovers, so you can really dial this thing in on the track. This thing is an absolute monster on the track, by the way. I've had many, many opportunities to chase it, and my poor little Camaro ZL11LE just will not keep up. Now, I wasn't joking when I said everything was carbon fiber. Here's the hatch. Factory rear diffuser, and there's those monster 355 Kumos out back. The brakes, carbon ceramic, Brembos, 6-piston calipers, 15.5-inch rotors. This thing will literally throw you through the windshield if you're not paying attention. The brakes are absolutely incredible. Talking about brakes and talking about stopping power, you need tire and grip to be able to stop this car. Kumo teamed up with Dodge and made the ACR tire. It's a Kumo X to V720, and they're rated at 200 tread wear. Fun fact for you, these tires are so good that NASA has practically banned them, and most autocross organizations around the world have banned the tires from a 200 tread wear. And if you do choose to run the ACR Extreme tire, you do have to take a point hit. The interior is beautifully finished with Alcantara and suede everywhere. Mixture of leather thrown in there and carbon fiber. 6-speed manual with one of probably the best feeling transmissions you could ever drive. It's so mechanical feeling and you really almost feel every gear that you put it into. The seats are completely stripped compared to a regular Viper, compared to a GTS. A regular Viper would have heated seats and power seats. These seats are full mechanical. No heated options, no nothing. At least they did keep a decent stereo in the car with Harman Kardon. And you do have power adjustable pedals, of course, for taller individuals such as myself that needs to move those pedals a little bit further away. I have driven this car before. It is a very tight fit for me, but that's obviously because of my size being 6'5". The sills are beautifully finished with a big Viper logo, and Dodge loved to place little Easter eggs on this car. So if you look really closely, you can actually see the checkered flag design on the door panel. Those are built-in G-meter. As you can see, every single one of them has been pegged. This car was genuinely built to do one thing, and that's kick ass. That's literally all this car set out to accomplish, and accomplish it did. When this car released, it actually, Dodge went hunting and they hunted for lap records across America, setting 12 lap records, including at iconic courses that you've heard, such as Laguna Seca, Road Atlanta, and lots of other big tracks. And those records still stand today. Yes, some modern technology cars have come along and maybe knocked a couple of those lap records away, such as the GT2 RS or a GT3 RS at some of these tracks. But this thing, don't let it fool you, is still an absolute monster on the road course. Now, Dodge calls this a street car, and I guess it is true to its name, but let's call a spade a spade. And this is a race car that you can drive on the streets. So guys, there's really no point in me trying to take it for a drive because the drivability in the car doesn't really matter. What really matters is how this thing performs on racetracks, and we're going to share some footage with you as to how this thing actually runs. So let's go take a look as to see how it performs on the racetrack.
See, this corner right here, turn 2, is the biggest problem for me to try to hold on. But that Viper keeps accelerating, I have to lift and brake, otherwise I'll put the car off the track. And this is where the Viper makes pretty much most of the time on me, is on this big high-speed sweeper. Well guys, that's all I have for today. I personally think that the Viper ACR Extreme deserves to go down in the history books as one of the greatest American cars ever made. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a like and a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys all in the next one. Take care, everyone.